Click the first link in the description for the best Askreddit content. AITA for complaining about a waiter taking and throwing away my food before I'd finished. So I, 27M, was out for dinner. I was talking to a friend and just nibbling on the food, a little less than half a burger left on the plate, when my friend says, "Hey, the waiter took the food." I immediately stood up and went after him, but he was rushing, and even though I shouted wait, he dumped the plate in the bin as he took his last step, so I couldn't get to him in time. As he turns around, he asks me what I want and I tell him that I hadn't finished my burger. He huffed and puffed, raising his shoulders, saying, "Yay, well, you should have said something." I just walked off. I was expecting an apology and didn't know how to react. Here's where my GF says I was an A. Time to pay. We split the bill, 4 of us, and I'm left last to pay. I wasn't going to say anything, but another waiter asks if everything was okay, to which I reply, "Well, actually your mate threw away half my burger and tried to blame me." My GF says that's not an accurate recount of the situation, since he didn't say it was your fault and that I'm gonna get that guy in trouble. She suggests instead I should have told them exactly what happened and let them judge by themselves, and that I'm gonna get that guy in trouble. She then went on to scream at me for having done that multiple times to her previously, taking my experience and interpretation of what someone said and explaining it as if it was factual. Edit 1, GF has just woken up and she's apologized for the way she brought it up. She still thinks I should have given a more factual recount of the situation, but I was in the right to complain, which I would have never done had I not been asked. Edit 2, so this person, even though their post had been removed due to uncivility, really needed to give me a piece of their mind. Thanks to everyone who's not been an A. Smile. DM to let me know I'm an A. NTA. Some people should get in trouble. For example, a waiter who doesn't check with you before throwing away half your food, then tells the person who just chased them while being ignored that they should have said something, and then expects you to pay full price. I've done a good deal of waitressing. The second he realized he'd thrown away something you were still eating, he should have gotten a manager involved, to either discount your meal, or replace it, or find some other way to correct the situation. That said, it sounds like you and your GF have your own set of communication issues. It's definitely frustrating to have someone frame your actions in an incriminating way if you feel it ignores your perspective, and it was inappropriate for her to scream at you for this. Info: my friend says, "Hey, the waiter took the food. Did you not see it happening?" "No, I was turned sideways and chatting. That's why I said I was nibbling on my food, not full on eating a burger." NTA: I don't know what waiter just grabs the plate without asking if you're done. You had every right to complain considering you paid for it and he didn't do his job correctly, even if you didn't notice he took it. Your GF completely overreacted too. Info: how did the waiter take your food without you noticing? Did anyone at the table acknowledge the waiter and agree to the plates being cleared? No one did. He was rushing around so fast I didn't manage to catch him after he left with the food. AITA for taking a class taught by my dad's girlfriend. I, 19F, am in my second year of university. My dad, 43M, has been with his girlfriend Tracy, 40SF, for around 5 years. Tracy is a lecturer at my university, but in a completely different department to what I study, so we've never crossed paths in the classroom before. This year, my university is offering a new elective that I really wanted to take. It's something I've always been interested in and it would fit in with what I want to do after I graduate. The only catch is that it's taught by Tracy. I double-checked with my course leader that I'm allowed to take it and asked Tracy if she was comfortable teaching me. Tracy said it was fine, and my course leader confirmed I could take it, mostly thanks to a loophole. I can only take the class because my dad and Tracy aren't married, ergo, there's no real relationship between me and Tracy, so no apparent conflict of interest. I signed up for the class regardless, and so did my friend Alex, 19M. We had our first seminar via Teams last Tuesday and Tracy had us introduce ourselves. When she got to me to ask me to introduce myself, she said something along the lines of, "Now, I know I already know you, but please introduce yourself to everyone else, Jamie." Part of what gave this away is that my name isn't actually Jamie, it's something more feminine, let's say Rose. I don't like to use the name Rose, but that's the name on my university stuff because it's my real name. New lecturers always call me Rose until I mention wanting to be called Jamie. After the class, Alex texted me and asked me how Tracy had already known my preferred name, asking if I'd emailed her in advance. I said no and just told him that Tracy is my dad's girlfriend and I've known her since I was 14, so she always calls me Jamie. Alex got kind of offended, I want to say. He said it was unfair that my mom is my teacher and that I'd get better grades just for that. I replied saying that she's not my mom, and I've never even lived with her. I see her more now at uni than I ever did as a teenager. Not to mention, she'll totally hold me to a way higher standard. She used to help me out with my sociology A-level revision and, in the nicest way possible, she was a fucking monster, haha. That said, I get what Alex is saying about his concerns and it's only thanks to a loophole that I'm even allowed to take this class. NTA, especially at a big university, it's really common for a professor to know kids from somewhere. You're in compliance with the rules and neither of you intend to cheat your grades. Enjoy your class and tell your friend that you're looking forward to learning something new. The only thing close to cheating I think I could come is that I've read most of Tracy's research and her books already. She has a whole shelf of them, so I used to sit and read them all whenever I visited her and my dad because it was so interesting. NTA, your friend sounds incredibly insecure to be upset about this. NTA, you have done nothing wrong and even checked to be certain. The only person who even has the ability to be compromised ethically is Tracy. Please, Tracy is one of the most morally upright people I've ever met. If she thinks I'm wrong, she'll tell me I'm wrong. NTA, sounds like you've done everything you're meant to do. You've checked the guidance, let your college know and are being respectful of Tracy's wishes. Your friend is being paranoid and should trust you / move on. Yeah, I wouldn't take the class if Tracy was uncomfortable with it. I get that teaching your partner's daughter could be uncomfortable, if not ethically compromising. AITA, for telling our therapist about our pregnancy. Quick background, my wife wanted me to see a therapist as she found her therapist very helpful to her. She suggested her therapist to me and we began with some couples sessions. Now we both see the therapist separately as well as a few couples sessions sprinkled in. My wife and I recently, a few days, found out we are expecting and I had a session with the therapist coming up before she did. We decided are not announcing anything to friends and family until we are past 12 weeks, but she asked that we tell the therapist together at the beginning of my session and then let me have my session after. I 100% agreed because it's awesome, exciting, and I really want, which is rare for me, to talk with the therapist about something. The day of the session, I'm working from home and my wife decides to take a walk with a friend. My session is 30 minutes away when I realize that my wife isn't home. We have video sessions with the therapist due to COVID, and I text my wife if she was going to make it for the announcement. No response, so 15 minutes later I give her a call. She doesn't answer. I have the call with the therapist and let the cat out of the bag as I really have so much I want to discuss, learn, express, and offload some of what I'm feeling. We have a fantastic session and my wife calls me back shortly after. She only asks if I told the therapist, which I admit to, and now I'm the most selfish a-hole she has ever met. Obviously emotionally charged statement, and she is super stressed, super pissed at me, and really feeling robbed of the opportunity to tell someone she knew first. AITA? NTA, a good example of why you shouldn't both be using the same therapist. Whatever you discuss with your therapist is private and you should respect that. She knew the plan was to talk to the therapist and she missed it. If a pregnancy reveal to a therapist is this personal, there may be some fuzzy boundaries there. It isn't like you revealed it to a friend. That said, pregnancy hormones. Forgive her, apologize for not waiting and find a way to patch things up. You aren't the asshole, but your actions did inadvertently cause your wife pain. Show her some extra love. NTA: a therapist isn't a friend and she is treating them like one. If you needed to talk about stuff related to the pregnancy, then it was fine for you to tell the therapist. Yeah, it was super weird to me that she wanted to tell someone she knew first, as if the therapist was a mutual friend and not a healthcare professional. It sounds like it might be time to reassess if that therapist is still a good match. NTA: she knew what time the appointment was and didn't show up. It would have been a waste of a therapy session to avoid a topic that was obviously the top thing on your mind.